Talks, where we talk taxes and tax-free living 365. Here are your hosts, Craig White, Sebastian Singh, and Patrick Augustin.
And we're back with another TQ Talks.
And we're happy to be here. TQ Talks. It's great to always hear Patrick's voice since he's been on hiatus for the longest.
Only 3 months.
Welcome back, Pat. Thank you all for joining us once again. This is TQ Talks with TQ Financial Services. You can catch us on all your podcasting platforms as well as your social media platforms. And please like, share, subscribe, and reach out to us if any of this information is useful, beneficial, if you have any questions or anything dealing with any of our topics.
And if it's your first time joining us, remember we are a tax and advisory firm. Our job is to help our clients to get the biggest refunds they can, or of course, reduce the amount they owe by giving them 365 days a year tax planning advice. Yeah, we talk to you guys year round. That's part of why you pay us. And we're also helping you to build wealth for yourself now, as well as for the generations to come, by giving you little known, wonderful insurance-based advisory information. Tax. Pat, it looks like you're ready to say something off the rip. So it's like, do you want us to get to the topic? You got
Let's
something
get to the topic.
Okay.
He's going to be calling us after this.
So if you have not seen the latest, this is old but new. TurboTax had a settlement because of a lawsuit that they had years ago, honestly, along with another actual firm as well they were offering what was called free service, right? They say, hey, if you qualify based on whatever the situations were, you could use our, in this situation, TurboTax free software, and you could file your taxes for free. The problem was the courts felt it was a bait and switch situation.
Right.
They were telling people, come use it, and then while you're in it, all of a sudden you're paying $35, $45, $75, $80, whatever it was, because you didn't really qualify. And theoretically, you're actually worse. So they were baiting you to use the stuff and then taking advantage. So now the court has finally said, hey, settlement time is due. They are paying out a whopping, which is not much, $141 million settlement to begin next week.
That's nothing to know.
Listen to that. They made that in 1 year. In the first quarter of that 1 year.
Yeah,
they
made way more than, they are destroying it. So to pay that out is interesting. Obviously, we all read the articles, and what are your takes on what did you get from that information?
So
that's the question.
First of all, I'm like Pat. I got upset, but then we knew they were doing this.
Right.
As soon as I saw it. They have documentaries out. They have YouTubes on it. They have everything everywhere. This reminded me kind of those, what's that thing when you go to the hotel for free, but then you got to sit for a seminar?
Yeah.
I got
timeshare, right?
Timeshare.
Or even if you guys are familiar with Miami, if you go to Improv, you get free tickets, but you have to buy 2 drinks, right? So similar. They were offering the free services, but of course upcharging whatever. I didn't use the service, so I can't tell you exactly what it was. But they've been in court for a while. This is for 2016, 17, and 18, right?
Yep.
And what are the checks boiling down to when it actually comes home, Pat? Comes to the people.
$30 hot dollars.
Who?
$30 hot dollars.
Yeah, 30 you can go all the way up to 85. And to your point, as I pull this up, it said that Intuit reported a revenue of $2.304 billion.
When? Which year?
That's 2016.
Ooh, that's the year we're talking about.
So they're getting a lawsuit from 16, 17, and 18, right? But that's $141 million.
400 million.
But they reported $2
billion.
2.3
Yeah,
billion.
so a drop in the bucket. They're paying what the courts make them pay. We can't get mad at them for that.
No.
We can get mad at them for tricking the general public, right? John Q. Public.
Mm-hmm.
Pat's gonna say it eventually, but you should reach out to other tax preparers.
To us. What do you mean other tax preparers? TQ Financial
all day.
Services.
Definitely, to find out what's going on. So especially with the free services, one thing that we preach here is the education that you get behind it. This is the reason why your numbers look this way. This is what you're going to get back or what you have to pay. And this is what you need to do moving forward to get in whichever direction you want to go to or attain your goals. So a lot of the tax planning that we are, or all the tax planning we offer here, they don't have that.
Yeah.
So not only did you, was it not free, you paid for
nothing.
for data input,
That's it.
Well,
which you did yourself.
yeah, you did yourself,
Yeah,
which is
right.
the best part. I think it's a great strategy. I'm mad we didn't come up with. Anyway, payments are set to begin in May, right? So I said next week or something like that. And checks won't reach consumers until early June. That's what I'm reading, depending on the mailing date, according to the settlement website. However, if you don't receive the funds by mid-June, you can request a reissue through the website with your claimant ID issued by email.
I wonder, does that come with interest?
That's
Really? That's a good question. Or maybe the settlement full amount
That's
included interest.
I think
that's what
all
you
they're gonna get. You know, so with all this being said, the part for me that stood out the most, I'll read it for you guys. As they went through and they had a statement from Intuit, from the spokesperson, the part that got me was the company admitted to no wrongdoing
of course.
as part of the agreement.
Correct.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Correct.
So we're going to pay you the money, but we're still not going to admit we did a doggone thing wrong. If you guys were willing to go on our site, try to get free stuff, and get charged for it, heck, we'll give you a penny back.
Here it is.
That's literally what they're
Take
doing.
it, no
Here is
problem.
your penny. Let me tell you guys, I'm not trying to be crooked, but if we could make $2.3 billion every year and pay out $141 million,
Run it.
All day long. I'm
every
signing
year.
up.
Run it.
I might only do it 1 year, and you guys will probably never see me again. But honestly, I would run that every.
I mean, if
single
that's the
year.
only penalty to pay back
Why not?
a percent, like a fraction of a get out of here.
Unbelievable.
What I did see though at the very, very end, which kind of annoyed me at first, and then I figured out a way to flip it into a positive. It says roughly 70% of taxpayers qualify for free file, and only 2% used it during the 2022 filing season. Initially, I thought that was annoying to me because I wanted everyone maybe not to pay for. I'm not pushing everyone to pay everything, right?
Pay everything.
But when it comes to taxes or your personal finances, you do want a professional doing it, and unfortunately, professionals need to
Costs.
get paid,
Right.
So,
Go ahead.
what I did like though is that it seems like a lot less of our general population is using the free files, and hopefully, this is just me being, an optimist, that these 2% understand what they're doing when they file free, and they understand all their financial statements.
Now, what I was going to say to Bassie's point is that I had a conversation with an older gentleman last weekend, matter of fact, that came out of pork and beans, or whatever the case is, but he's highly educational. So now he saw my shirt I was wearing. I was wearing a Tiki Financial Service shirt.
Right.
He said, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a tax accountant and tax planning advisor and things of that nature." And then I gave him an example of what happened the past couple of years, where people was getting a lot of money on their refund compared to this tax year 22, where they were not getting a lot of refunds.
Right.
What he said to me was that if you educate me on the difference between what happened the past 2 years to what happened this year, and you let me know why it happened, I'm fine with that.
Right.
Versus you just doing data entry and say, okay, here's your refund.
And give me the numbers.
And give you the number. Like, okay, there's a cause and effect that I need to know that was not explained to him. If it's explained to him, he'll pay for that service. Most, you go to, let's say, H&R Block or
Hey, we don't promote those things.
whatever the case.
Yeah.
They have little guys that's just there for data entry. That's it. They're
And
not explaining anything to you, or what's going on, or why these numbers are doing what they're doing when it comes to the refund.
And I think that's where we hurt systematically in different demographics, is that we, at least growing up, we've been brainwashed to know that taxes are confusing, and you give it to someone and you get it back, and the number they give you, that's it. That's the final. And that's not where we need to be. That's not where other communities are, and it's your money. You should know what's happening with it. So if you're not with a tax preparer, if you're not with TQ Financials, and you're not with a tax preparer that's explaining things out to you, you're making a big mistake in itself.
Yeah, I would agree with both of you, and I'd also tell you we don't want you here anyway. I'm just kidding. I'm just being that. Listen, it's a hard thing. Life is changing and people are changing. Again, our normal client, again, is usually a business owner, a small business owner, a corporate owner, whatever it is. These are people that have a lot going on in their lives. The way that taxes are changing or, moving in, they're trying to make everything simpler.
Right.
Pat was speaking, and his whole thing made me think, wow, there you haven't been here because of the baby, but that's pricing, one, and two, value, which we did podcasts on both of those. That gentleman has a value system, right? And he knows, hey, this is what I'm willing to pay, even if the result is the same. But a lot of people would rather follow it themselves. If the number is 1,000, whether you do it and give me a lot of information or I do it and give you none, if I don't have to pay Craig, then guess what? I'm okay with my 1,000. Now, what I'll do is I'll call Pat after, or I'll go on all his social media stuff, TQ Financials. Just search TQ Financial Services on all your social media platforms, and we'll look at all of the videos and things that we drop, and I'll get the information or try to figure out why I got that 1,000. But ultimately, you charging me $200 or $150 or whatever it ends up being is not worth it to me. That's what they say. But again, to Sebastian's point, when you concern yourself with your money, right? When you are worried about where it like what it is as far as how much I'm earning, where it's going, and where it needs to go, right? Because I got short-term or long-term goals, then you'll find a value in a service like ours. That's the truth,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
If you're not really concerned about it, then, we always say this not in a rude way, but you're not a client.
Right.
Because you really don't care, and it's cool. Like, honestly, I think it's okay because that's just not the thing you place a value in. That's fine. You understand? So I listen, kudos to the guy. And I've had the same discussion with, a couple, same thing.
Yeah.
They say, hey, same number, but you told me how I got the number. And that's what I really care about.
Yeah.
And that's where I am too. I will pay for service even when I know how to do something because I trust the person, number one. And I like when I get explained, okay, oh, that's why that did that.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. You earned your money.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it is. And again, we can go even deeper. Part of it is, man, pay the people in your community, the real ones, not the bootleggers, that are doing their jobs because you want the money to be cyclical. And obviously, by you just shoving things in, first of all, we'll break this off and we'll move the whole TurboTax Intuit thing. Part of the lawsuit was the information that you were giving them was a real issue. When you did the software, yes, they were baiting and switching and putting people on, but they were taking your information and putting it out there to all these different companies that were then selling you.
They making them money on top of that money.
On top of that money. So it was like, dude, you lost twice. You thought you were getting something free, but guys, there's nothing in life that's free. We all know this. We hear this quotes from like every single race, color, and creed. So listen, when you put that information out there, they're using it and they're not helping you. At least please help each other to do better. That's all I'm saying from this whole lawsuit foolishness. That's it for me. Sorry.
We appreciate your positive outlook on everything always.
Always.
But anyway, we just wanted to update you guys on the latest release on this settlement, at least. People have been, again, fighting for this for years. They did documentaries, YouTubes, all that. We've been telling you, like Craig said, nothing in life is truly free.
Yep.
And when it comes to your personal finances, really, really take accountability of that and make sure you're speaking to people that can explain it out to you, such as Mr. Craig White, Mr. Patrick Augustin, and Sebastian Singh here at TQ Financial Services.
Give us a call.
Thank you for joining us, guys. We really appreciate you having. Again, I never know the outro information, so we're going to let Sebastian.
Listen, guys, if any of this is helpful or you find that this could help anybody in your circles, please like, share, subscribe, and reach out to us for any of your tax planning, tax preparation services.
We out.
Thank you for listening to TQ Talks. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and recommend on iTunes, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get more information at TQFinancials.com.